There we are, alright. Sorry about the wait on that. Just wanted to verify it actually was live. It's showing offline on Twitch still, and still kind of getting used to this completely different OBS and completely different Twitch look. So as far as stuff going on lately, I think one of the big things is going to be I upgraded Uko. So Uko is actually a Discord bot called Red, which I was using version 2 of, and unfortunately, sometime yesterday, it simply went down, and I tried just about everything, could not get it back up. I have no idea why, if because they, have stopped support for Red version 2, maybe bugs are starting to crop up or something. I'm not really sure, but nothing could get it back up. So I decided to try to get Red version 3 working, and it was pretty difficult, took a very long time, but it is working now. Unfortunately, it's running on my desktop, which I don't normally leave on. I usually run Uko from my laptop. So I'm currently attempting to get it working on my laptop, transfer everything over. I'll have to reconfigure some things, but if I can actually get it working, it'll be worth it. But that's the goal, but it is online for now at least. And yeah, that's the main thing. There are some new cogs or features for Uko that I've added, which I haven't really explored, but a few of them are related to Eudor, Kongramir, and some people in Hell's Raiders. I've been asking about some kind of a casino or gambling add-on, something like that. So that's kind of the goal for some of those cogs. And there are quite a few others that I plan to kind of investigate how they can work. There's a bank and a shop and economy, so it's sort of a whole system based on having some kind of currency on the server and then being able to use that for stuff and finding ways to acquire it. So it'll probably take some time to kind of dig in and figure out how all that works and what a good way to do it would be, but that's the thinking there. And there's a few other cool ones, like a Pokédex, which just lets you look up information on Pokemon. There's a League one, which I haven't looked into. There's, of course, Trivia. Trivia should be all working. I even found a way to get the WA Trivia on there. It's a bit old, but I did double check the questions, so I think they're all still up to date. We'll see. And then as well, there's a G-Show, a Japanese to English and English to Japanese dictionary translation thing, and a couple others. I did find a way through the custom commands cog to theoretically add the codex back. Unfortunately, it would have to be done from scratch as far as adding everything. We could look up the entries and copy them, but unfortunately, there is not a great way to just copy the whole lot of them over. We would have to hand type everything again, basically, or copy the entries, but type the commands to add the codex entries themselves into the system, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's just kind of the way it is. I can't find any way to get version 2 working, so unfortunately the trigger program, which I was using before, it simply doesn't work, and there's no cross-compatibility, there's nothing, which really stinks, but that is just the way it is. Other than that, we do have, let's see. We do have, talked about the music bot already. That should be it. Yeah, I think the other thing is the recruitment license, an exam, a test, and everything like that. I'm continuing to work on that. I think have the majority of all the information about that already ready to go. Let me bring up some stuff here so I can just kind of summarize that again. So, kind of went over the requirements previously. Essentially, need to be in good standing, possess proper demeanor and personality, and to be knowledgeable about WA as a whole. And with that in mind, then you need to pass the recruitment license exam. And basically, you have to score 80% or better to be qualified. There's some additional requirements. For example, to make Berserker, you have to pass it. To make Huskarl, you have to get 95%. And to make Hairsayer, you have to pass it twice. Or rather, achieve a score of 95% or better twice. And thus, you'll also get an exam proctor license, so you'll be allowed to teach the exam and run it. But it's going to be 20 questions, typically held on Thursdays after Court of the High King, but can be held at any time to suit people's time slots. Based on talking to some people, it actually, to clear up confusion, it would be held, multiple people would be taking the exam at one time. It wouldn't just be a one-on-one deal. And yeah, it would be given insert hauler and voice. Let me open up my actual test document. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, so each person who takes it will basically have their own text channel, and then they will sort of type in their answers to the questions that are read to them in voice in that channel. And then afterwards, they'll be removed from the channel, and tests will be graded, basically. As well, the plan is to close off access to the forums and rules channels for people taking the test as well, so you can't cheat. And yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, basically just have to finish writing it. As I kind of mentioned, for the very first test ever, I'm going to have two versions, and I'm going to hold both pretty soon, one after the other, so that there will be the opportunity. First of all, people will sort of get a redo opportunity pretty quickly. And secondly, so that there's the opportunity for people to become exam proctors by getting 95% on both of those right near the beginning. So we're not stuck kind of waiting 3 to 6 months before we have any other people who can teach the exam or reach the rank of Hairseer. So that won't be a normal thing. Normally, there'll just be one version every 3 to 6 months that changes, but that's the plan to start off with. So 20 questions. It'll probably be like a 30-minute window for the test. The plan will probably be to do something like, if it's a short question, 30 seconds or a minute. And then like, the remaining time at the end will just be for people to go back. So if you don't know the answer to a question, you could write down the question in your text channel and go back to it later or anything like that. But there'll be a pause after each question, basically proportional to how complex the answer is supposed to be. But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. And currently working on writing the first version, so we'll get those done and hopefully get them roll that out as a system pretty soon here. Other than that, I think that is about it. Unfortunately, no further updates on the Yule song. We do have the clan's anniversary coming up here pretty soon. So I'll be announcing more specific stuff for that. I've been in contact with each warband asking them to kind of see if they can't come up with some kind of specific things to celebrate and to announce to their warband, but there will in fact be a Hjorthing, a house war in honor of the anniversary. So I'll be announcing the exact rules and details for that pretty soon here, within a couple days at most. So yeah, that should be fun. And yeah, I believe that's it. I'll double check my document one more time here. Oh, and yeah, so one thing is we have been talking about potentially getting rid of Vafthrudnir's or doing something different with it. I think the only change I'm actually going to make is that recruits are not automatically put in Vafthrudnir's anymore. But it will still exist if people want to put their recruits there or something like that. And that way we'll have a sort of system of keeping track of those recruits and having them post in roll call and everything like that. All those structures will exist for them regardless, but you won't be forced to put your recruits in Vafthrudnir's, is the plan. That's it. I think that's about it. So yeah, we'll be back online for Court of the High King here pretty soon. See everybody for that.